Hi, boys and girls. It is story time with Miss Stephanie, and today we're going to read A Lucky Dog, Oni, U.S. Rail Male Mascot by Dirk Wells. And this is actually based on a true story. So let's find out what happens. Nameless and homeless, the small dog shivered in the gloom. He was cold and soaking wet. The river was up, and in the darkness he had fallen into the shallows. It was a bad night in Albany, New York. Here was a lucky find, a space out of the weather. The dog wondered about the piles of gray bags. What could they be? Whatever they were, they smelled good, and the room was warm. "Hey, Owen, what have we got there?" asked James. "It's a cute puppy," Owen replied. "Boy, it was cold last night. I guess it was lucky the back door wasn't shut." Owen looked around to see if any of the supervisors were near. It was against the rules to have animals in the post office. The supervisor heard about the dog the men were keeping. He came to investigate, asking why the dog was in the post office. James replied, "It's Owen's dog, sir. He's a cute one." The supervisor noted the pup's plaintive look, and in response the dog wagged his tail. "Won't do any harm to keep him, sir," said Owen. "He seems to love the mail bags and just needs a place to stay." "And some friends," said James. So time went on, and it got colder and then warmer, but the dog still had a home in the post office. He had a name now, too. Oni, for Owen's dog. He was allowed to go everywhere the postal workers went, and one day, while watching them load a rail car with mail bags, he jumped in. Wind whipped his ears, new smells filled his nose. They were going so fast. Gosh, thought Oni, this was much better than riding the mail wagons all the time. 142 miles to New York City and 142 miles back to Albany. That was a long way in 1889. What a lucky dog. "Say, how old are you, Oni?" asked Carl, the mail car supervisor. Because this is a true story, some of the questions are hard to answer. No one really knows. Patting the dog, Horace said, "He don't know. Just an orphan dog that crept into the post office one day and now gets to ride all the mail trains. Eh, Oni?" "Lucky dog," said Carl. Oni had adventures at home, too. One day everyone thought he was missing. The mail clerks unloading the mail expected Oni to be on the wagon because he was always so responsible and dependable. He was always where he was supposed to be. To make things worse, there was a missing mail bag, too. A double mystery. Blocks away from the post office, Oni and the lost mail pouch were found. The pouch had fallen off the wagon, and Oni had stayed behind. Someone had to protect the mail. "You know, little friend, I was really worried about you," Owen said. "You may be a hero now, but you had me scared there." It wasn't long before Oni's mail train adventures took him farther and farther away from his home station of Albany. And during this time, an interesting thing happened. Everywhere he went, a special note was pinned to his collar asking employees of the railway mail service to attach a special bagging tag of leather or metal to Oni's collar to show where he had been traveling. Very soon, Oni had an impressive collection of tags, and he had many new friends. New friends like Winona Kilbridge of the Los Angeles Kennel Club, who gave him a medal for being the best traveled dog of 1893, and Walter Banning of the Grand Rapids, Michigan dog show, who gave Oni a special medal. Sissy Donahue, daughter of the president of the Pacific Kennel Club, gave Oni an inscribed $50 and a special hug. In Chicago, Mr. William Winter Wagner gave Oni a Globetrotter medal. Little did Mr. W. W. Wagner know that this medal would represent a part of Oni's future. Finally, Oni met the Postmaster General, John Wanamaker, who made a long speech about how Oni was now the official mascot of the Rail Mail Service. He presented Oni with a special jacket to carry his many awards and baggage tags. Oni and his friends at the Albany Post Office learned that foreign travel could have its dangers. On a trip to Canada, Oni followed the mailbags into the post office in Montreal and was seized for not having a Canadian dog license. When his friends in Albany learned of Oni's capture, they raised the $2.50 it would take to get Oni released and sent back to the United States. Close call, Oni. Oni was famous now. He had traveled all over the United States, and many people were thinking he might be the first Postal Service dog to go around the world. His friend Owen was worried. What if something happened to Oni in a faraway place and Owen couldn't get there to help him? Still, one sunny morning in August, Oni boarded a ship and began the adventure of his life. 132 days around the world. Departed August 19th, 1895, ended on December 29th, 1895, wearing his bagging tag collection with a tiny suitcase containing a soft sleeping blanket, comb, and brush, and was greeted at home by hundreds of admirers, gained 6 pounds, made scores of new friends, was issued a Japanese imperial passport, and traveled over 143,000 miles by steamship and train. A dog with Oni's fame and accomplishments could become, well, big-headed from all the attention, but Oni's idea of a good time was simply hopping the next mail train. Looking out the door of the mail car, his nose filled with scents and whiskers blowing in the breeze, he watched the countryside fly by. The train thundered along past small towns with a shack and a single hook to catch the mail bag, and then on into the bustle of big stations like Albany and New York City. Not a bad life for a lucky and adventurous dog. During his life, Oni was a living good luck charm. When Oni was riding the rails between 1888 and 1897, accidents were common on mail trains. In 1893, there were more than 400 train derailments, explosions, collisions, and loss of lives of mail train employees. During all the time Oni rode the rails, no train he was on had an accident, nor was there a loss of a single rail mail employee. Oni was, in more ways than one, a lucky dog. I hope you enjoyed our story, A Lucky Dog, Oni U.S. Rail Mail Mascot by Dirk Wells. Until next time, keep reading.